How's it going, guys? Cody back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, I wasn't going to do this video, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do my bit at the end. So this is on a story in the Liverpool Echo, link in the description below, like I always do. The headline reads, HMP Altcourse looking for prison officers with no qualifications required. Now, first things off the bat, it's not HMP. It's a G4S run prison or a private prison or a prison for profit. So I'm going to read the story, guys. I'm going to do my bit at the end, reference people that are interested in taking a job there or just being a prison officer in general. So story reads, G4S are recruiting for several roles at the prison. HMP Altcourse are on the hunt for prison officers, and you do not have to have any specific qualifications to apply. Easy for me to say. The Category B prison is looking for applications from individuals from a diverse range of backgrounds who can demonstrate the integrity, resilience, and strong communication skill needed to thrive in this role. No relevant experience is required to work at the Fazakerley prison, which holds more than 1,200 male offenders. The roles are full-time with a range of shifts available and a salary of £23,937 a year. The job advert said, if you join us, you can be sure that you'll find a secure, friendly, and professional working environment and be given all the support, training, and encouragement you need to build and develop a successful career with us. Sounds great, doesn't it, guys? Sign me up. As part of your new role with us, you will undertake a custodial qualification. The program runs in parallel with your initial training course, and you'll be supported through the program by an experienced coach, as well as through a mentoring program and line management support. On completion, you will obtain a recognised custodial qualification, which will support your role and career development. Your initial training lasts for 9 weeks, where you'll receive a comprehensive training, which includes control and restraint training. I think it's about a week, 7 to 10 days or something, right? First aid, you're going to need that because a lot of what you're going to see in prison. Interpersonal skills and health and safety. Benefits of the role include company pension, whoopie-doo, holiday entitlement, access to high street shop benefits, uniform, whoopie-doo, free parking, access the on-site gym and on-site canteen. The vacancies are subject to a 5-year checkable history and the strict vetting standards set by G4S and the Secretary of State for the Home Office, and are exempt from the Rehabilitation of Offenders Act. You must be eligible to work in the UK and must have been a resident in the UK for a minimum of 5 years. Recently, prison inspectors at the Independent Monitoring Board found violence and incidents of self-harm had reduced at the prison, formerly regarded as one of the most violent in the UK. The Independent Monitoring Board reported a 9% fall in violence from January to June 2019, with serious assaults down 27% on the year before. The establishment of a culture of rehabilitation was praised, with inspectors crediting it as being behind many prisoners, telling board members that they feel safer in the prison than in the past, and also of that of other establishments. Oh my God. I think G4S have written this article themselves. Like I've said, guys, to become a prison officer, you've got to have a certain mindset, right? If you are quite an anxious person, or you are quite soft as a person, and you're quite squeamish as a person, and you're not really strong as an individual, don't go for the job, because the reality is you'll end up within 6 months, 12 months in a corner, having a breakdown, crying, hitting the bottle. Being a prison officer, 23,000, I think it's just short of 24,000. I don't know if that's a starting salary or after like what operational support grade you have to get to get to that £24,000 a year, or if it's a starting salary, I'm not sure. But it's the most, I wouldn't do it for all the tea in China, right? It's an extremely dangerous job, number one. The job is sold to you that you are going to make a difference in these people's lives, in these prisoners' lives, or residents, as they call them. You're not going to make no change in their life. You're going to unlock them, you're going to lock them up, you're going to unlock them, you're going to lock them up, You could do a few app books in the meantime. App books is a mental health assessment which prisoners are put on. The staff that carry it out are not mentally health trained to any extent, but they're doing app books with prisoners. You will see shocking amounts of violence. You will experience violence. You will see self-harm. You will see suicide attempts. You will potentially see murders. I think there was 3 or 4 murders last year in the UK prison system. You will see suicides. You will cut people down. People that are hanging from a bedsheet, you will be cutting them down. You'll see stupid amounts of violence. It will affect you mentally, psychologically, and physically. The job's extremely dangerous, and if you're thinking about going into the job, right, I often get people, prison officers, saying, Cody, I'm thinking of becoming a screw. What do I do? How do I act? How do I conduct myself? And I can't tell them. If you go to the job and you're going to be a bastard and you're power mad because you've got some fucking epaulets and a radio, right, and a body-worn camera, right, you're going to end up getting targeted, right? You'll end up becoming, like I said, if you're young, the amount of female officers, 19, 20, 21 years old, they've been working at Mackey's and they go and work in a prison and they're falling into sexual relationship with prisoners and, I'll never do that. And then the next 6 months later, 12 months later, 2 years later, they're in the paper because they've been bringing drugs in, they've fallen in love with a prisoner, having sexual relationships, bringing in contraband and everything like that. Like I said, all prisons are failing, both public sector and private. I have a big issue with private prisons. Why? Because private prisons are getting fat and rich off prisoners suffering, prisoners' families suffering, and also those good prison officers out there that are suffering immeasurably as well. There's a lot of good officers in the system, guys. There's a lot of bully boys. There's a lot of bastards. There's also a very good crop of prison officers. There's good and bad in every society, both cons and prison officers. But like I said, I wouldn't do it for all the tea in China, right? You're not going to make a difference in these men's lives or residents' lives. What a fucking load of shit. Calling a prisoner a resident doesn't give that prisoner a sense of entitlement or that he's got a sense that he's got a stake in society upon release. Prison succeeds in demoralising, desensitizing, dehumanising, and making you even more disenfranchised than when you enter the prison system. Go to prison broken, might pick up a few courses. If you're on a short sentence, you don't even get a sentencing plan. You're chewed up and you spat out. I've seen prisoners go to prison having never taken drugs in their life and have left with addictions like spice and everything like that. The job, you're going to work in a professional, safe environment. Every year, the Ministry of Justice, right, release ironically called the safer in custody statistics, which actually prove that the prisons are not safe at all. Like I said, if you're thinking about taking up the job offer, think long and hard, right? Like I said, if you are a soft, sensitive person, if you are easily led, if you are quite vulnerable or have suffered any amount of mental health issues, or you're soft as a person, or you're squeamish, don't do the job because it could cost you your life. I broke a story a few months ago on this channel of a very, very experienced prison officer, senior officer, red badge senior officer, from HMP Wormwood Scrubs. No, was it Scrubs? Was it Wandsworth? I can't remember. But he took his own life. He was assaulted, and that assault was a culmination of everything that he'd been through his prison life, through his being a prison officer, and he sadly and tragically took his own life. Very good officer from what I was told, and it was Wormwood Scrubs. But like I said, it affects you psychologically, physically, emotionally, right? I used to speak at Forest Bank to the officers, right? On my last stretch, I was a cleaner. I used to say to the screws, like, how do you deal with it? And one guy, I won't name him, safe as houses guy, and he used to say, I drink every night. You will end up with PTSD. Prisoners are going to prison and leaving prison with PTSD through their experiences. But again, we do the whole male macho thing. Oh, prison doesn't bother us. Prison takes a part of everybody. I don't care how big and bad you think you are. And prison officers as well. The amount down the line, there will be a massive like collation of statistics and figures of prison officers that have developed post-traumatic stress disorder, and the same with prisoners. It's a fact. Like I said, you don't change anybody's life. The only life that's going to be changed is yours, the prison officer, because it will affect you to your very core. Like I said, I don't care. Go into it and be the most artless fucker you think you are. Right? It will affect you because no one escapes from it. Prison affects everybody. Prisoners' families, prisoners, prison officers. It affects everybody. I don't care. But again, we do prison's easy, mate. I've had some of my funniest times in prison. I also contemplated suicide in prison, right? Real talk, no bullshit, no macho bullshit, just real talk, right? Like I said, I'm not a prison expert. No. But like I said, people, if you are a strong person and a strong individual and you think you can muster what comes with the job, and like I said, 9 weeks of training is fuck all, right? 9 weeks for me, obviously at PULT, the training's called, right? POELT, PULT training, right? 9 weeks, guys. In Norway, 2 years. In the UK, 9 fucking weeks. Does that 9 weeks fully prepare you for every eventuality you are gonna come across on a wing? No. And like I said, when you're on a course and stuff, and you're all in like riot gear and stuff, and people are throwing fucking bricks at you, or potatoes, or whatever the fuck they're throwing at you, right? And you've got a fucking load of officers with you. When you're on the wing and there's three or four of you, and it goes off and you have to retreat and stuff because it's fucking gone off on the wing, you'll understand what I'm saying. Like I said, for me, and it's not a sexist remark at all. If it was up to me, if I was in charge of the prisons, I wouldn't have females working in male prisons, and I wouldn't have males working in female prisons. I know there can be same-sex relationships, I get that, but yeah, the amount of silly, wet behind the ears female officers that end up like a con just makes a beeline for them because the masses of manipulation, they're trying to use every situation to their own advantage, and one of these silly prison officers that's 21, 22 falls into that trap. You fucked. That prisoner doesn't care about you. He wants what he can get out of the situation. Prisoners will always seek to exploit weakness, whether that's in the security of the prison, in officers, in other prisoners, or whatever the case may be. Always to suit their own cause, their own agenda. And prisoners are masters of it. The job's extremely dangerous. And like I said, I don't warn people off. I don't tell everyone not to do it. I'm just saying, if you are a weak person, if you are emotionally not stable, right? If you are, even if you think you're tough, you go be a screw in jail and see. I promise you, after 12 months, most officers, staff retention's a huge problem within the prison system because, for me, I think they get underpaid because it's a fucking dangerous job. Like I said, I'm not a screw boy, no, right? But it's a dangerous job. It affects you fucking psychologically and stuff. You don't get support from senior management, right? And this is the thing. For me, there's no more. For me, it's the most unattractive job out there. You'd be better off on the fucking dole, right? Because at least on the dole, it's not going to affect you physically, psychologically, and emotionally. Well, saying that though, universal credit's driven people to take their own lives, so I'm probably not in the right place to say that. Anyway, guys, I'm waffling. Put your comments in the comment section below. There'll be a link in the description below for this particular story. Let me know what you think, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.